This is the PPC Tutor Podcast. Join us as we provide valuable tools, tips and resources, helping you to kickstart your PPC career.
Hi there, thank you for listening to this podcast. My name is Mike, and in this episode I'm going to be talking about PPC and SEO. I'm sure you've probably read many articles comparing PPC with SEO. You've probably seen some videos, listened to some audios, and it's one of those things that people have discussed for a long time. So the question is, PPC versus SEO, which one is better? In fact, the question should be which one is better for you, because every business is different, every organization is different, and you have to think about your clients, your customers, where they are and how you reach them. The reality is PPC and SEO are very important for many businesses. Both serve a really good purpose, and many businesses do both, and there definitely are lots of benefits to doing that. But sometimes you have to really think about your resources and think about how you can maximize them, where you can get the best return, and sort of like what time scales you're talking about, and cost and various things like that. So those are some of the things I'll talk about briefly in this episode, comparing these two different ways of marketing and reaching out to audiences online. The first thing is PPC SEO are, in many ways, they are search marketing platforms, search marketing methods of reaching clients. Of course, PPC is quite broad, and it also includes things like Facebook ads and things which don't really relate to search. But the reality is PPC is usually associated with search marketing, and it's mostly to do with Google ads primarily. And SEO is obviously search engine optimization and is about driving natural organic traffic from search results. And it can be done in different ways, whether it's image search, actual keyword search, the normal organic results, even videos. There's different ways that organic search SEO is helping businesses, and they're targeting people in different ways. Video is one of those video results coming up on organic results. So it's both are really broad, and they're not as basic as they were maybe 15 or 17 years ago. So the main thing behind both channels is that you're targeting people who are searching. So highly relevant, highly targeted. It allows you to just target those people who are actively searching for your products and services. And that's great because your conversion rates can be really good. And that's something we see a lot with PPC and SEO. But one of the big differences is cost. Obviously, people associate PPC with a lot more cost than SEO, because with PPC, pay-per-click, you're paying each time someone clicks through. So each time someone clicks through to your website, or even clicks and then calls you directly, that's PPC. So that's the primary model, especially on Google Ads and similar platforms. But you're paying for that traffic, something that you don't do with SEO. So with SEO, organic results, you don't pay for that traffic. It's free. It's great. What could be better than that? So it's really great in that respect, and generally is a lot cheaper. However, a lot of businesses need help to do SEO because it's got a lot of challenges, and so it can at times be more expensive, or even expensive from the fact that you may get very little return for the effort and time you put in, which sometimes PPC does a lot better. So that's one of the things to really think about, and in line with that, you also have to think about time frames. One of the beauties of PPC is even now, in the next hour, you can set up an ad, put together a campaign, get your ads out there, even start getting sales today. And with SEO, that's so different. If you're just launching your website, launching whatever platform you have, you can expect some minimum weeks, but you should really be thinking months before you even get traffic from SEO organic results. But that's even going to be not even guaranteed that you're going to get that traffic, because those positions are not guaranteed. Whereas with PPC, positioning is almost guaranteed. If you have the budget, you're almost guaranteed that you're going to be somewhere in the top. And usually with PPC, being on page 1 is very important, and especially in the top 4 position, if there are ad results above the organic in that particular auction that you're going after. But so it really gives you that instant. You can be out there, you can be driving traffic, paying for it certainly, but great in the sense that you have this traffic that just can bring you sales, and you can just get that those leads or sales that you need. Now with SEO, it's going to take you months, and you may not even get there, and that's one of the challenges. So in line with that, you also have to think about control. PPC gives you much more control over your spend, control over your results. That's very important. The results you get, you can know based on historic data, or even working with the PPC expert, what the average conversion rate is in your industry in that respect. And you can plan that easily, and you control that. And you control where your ads appear and what searches you appear for. With SEO, it's much harder to control. It's very difficult to know what searches you are actually going to get. It's difficult to know how much you're probably going to spend over time. And it's very hard to control when your ads, or your listings rather, are going to be up there. So SEO, far less control than PPC. And that's one of the great things about PPC. And, businesses are seeing massive results. The average return on ad spend with PPC in Google Ads is like 200%. And many businesses get even much more than that. Now, ease of use. This one, really, a lot of people do struggle with PPC, especially in Google Ads. They struggle setting up campaigns, and that's a fact. But one of the great things about PPC is when you get the training, when you do a course, and you just get over that initial challenging period, you will see it far easier than what you think it is, and it just gives you that control and so on. Now with SEO, there isn't a platform per se, but there are many different tools you can use that help you with your SEO. So you can use Google Search Console. I believe Bing or Microsoft has one as well. You can use Google Analytics to track, and many SEO tools out there like SE ranking and so forth to do your research and monitor your results and stuff. So it's good in that sense that you have different tools that you can use and so forth. But it also means sometimes you need to learn those different tools, which can take up more time. With PPC, yes, there are tools in addition to that. You've got editing tools like Google Ads Editor and bid management tools and so forth. You can use some of those if you want, but not really necessary. But the interface itself has, yes, in Google Ads, it's got a bit of a learning curve. But trust me, when you get that training, it's really great in that sense. And, in terms of targeting, the targeting options, PPC is good. As mentioned earlier, it gives you that control over who sees your ads, the audiences, the keywords, the topics you can go after, and not just search, even with display, and is great for raising brand awareness. Whereas with SEO, it can really be challenging to know who's going to see your ads and, your listings, who is going to click through, what are they going to purchase, and all these kind of things. So that's one of the challenging things. Gives you less control. But one of the great things about SEO is when your rankings are really great and you've done some really brilliant work and you're providing great content and so forth, the return on investment can be massive. It's if you're getting thousands of visitors, obviously depending on the industry, of highly targeted people, it just gives you that really good return that can be hard sometimes to achieve with PPC, because PPC can be competitive, especially when it comes to bidding, which can increase the average cost per click. So that's one of the great things about SEO, and it really gives you that return that is hard to replicate on other platforms. But it's like you're also at the mercy of algorithms. If Google decides today they want to do something, and sometimes your site may be actually well optimized, but you could get hit, and there's very little you can do about that. And you just have to be patient. You just have to keep waiting or trying out different things to correct any mistakes that you've made based on the algorithm. I mean, it's their platform. It's Google. Google is their platform, and generally they can do as they want and so forth. But same as Google Ads. But the good thing about Google Ads is it's in Google's own interest to make sure they're giving their advertisers a great experience so that they can reach their audiences. Because if they don't, they then lose that business. If advertisers don't get the results, they're not going to advertise as much as they normally do. They're going to cut down their budgets. They're going to move somewhere else. They're going to do SEO. They're going to do social media. And PPC is the number one revenue model for Google Ads. And so it's really important for them to really get that right. Whereas with SEO, they can, and they do it frequently, the algorithms updates and changes out there regularly. So you really are at the mercy of Google in that respect. So, these are some of the differences between PPC and SEO. I would say, there's a lot more. I would say, do both, because both will be important. But as you're doing that, especially if you get started with your SEO, also work on your PPC and set up some really great campaigns, and then start advertising and reaching your people. And once your SEO starts kicking in and you've got both really working well, not that you need to really reduce your PPC spend, but when you've got both of them working together, you tend to see conversions really going well, because sometimes people come through organic, then they search later, then they come through a paid click through PPC. So if you're not there at all those moments, you could be losing out on some of that traffic, and that's definitely something you need to be aware of. So the honest truth is, it really depends which one is better for your industry. Industries are different, and I really haven't talked about any industry in particular, but it's true for almost all industries, and you should do both of them, and you will see massive results when you do both of them. So that's PPC, that's SEO. These are really great channels, and you should really put your time and resources into maximizing them.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the PPC Tutor Podcast. To find out more, why not connect with us online by visiting our website at www.mikencube.co.uk. Join us again next time for more valuable tools, tips and resources helping you to kickstart your PPC career.